Hi, and welcome to Dopey Fixit. We're back in the garage to talk about a legacy Fixit. Let's see what we got today.
This is Dopey Fixit. These aren't pro tips, they're amateur tips. They're for people with no experience whatsoever, like me. Join me as I figure out how to do the little fix-its that my home needs, and maybe yours does too.
Alright, so this is a piece that we brought from the old house to the new house and that I kept. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it, but let me tell you what it was used for legacy-wise. What I did was, with this old IKEA shelving, man, we've had this forever. It's just thin pine garbage shelving you put together with a few pegs and screws and a little brace on the back. This particular shelf was just a generic thin shelf from IKEA. Nothing particularly special about it, a narrow pine wood shelf. Here, what I've done is I've taken 2x4s, just really simple wood, and drilled a couple 1/4-inch holes in the end of it and shoved a couple 1/4-inch dowels off, and then I cut it, off at the edge with some wood glue in here. And I did the same on both sides here and there. Before doing that, of course, I measured out, a little where the center of the board was, and I took a hole saw, punched out the center of these boards, this end and that end, and then just used a jigsaw to cut up to the top of it. You can see that it just kind of gives you a little groove to put this piece of conduit in. This is just a 1/2-inch piece of conduit, nothing special about it. It's just cut to a particular length. What I used to use this pipe for was to put black, white, and green electrical wires so that I could pull wires off this thing and it would just kind of spin off the rolls. I didn't have anything, fancy to set them up on. I just created this little thing. And now the bit of reuse that I'm going to get out of it here is I've got this sheeting, weed guard sheeting. I don't know if I'm ever going to put it in, to be honest. I've had it for years and years, and usually I'm not that good at doing mulch and stuff like that. So those have always been done for us. So we'll see maybe if I get around to using it, but I think it's still in the package. It's still good. I'm going to keep it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it right on up through here, push it off to the back. It goes out over the edge, or it goes out over the edge of the shelving, goes past the edge, onto this side. But very likely we've got enough room here at the from the shelf from the bottom to the top. We can put almost anything in here and it's not really going to affect it. And then this will do the same. Put it right up there. See? And that's how we get some kind of new reuse out of an old project. So that's another episode of Dopey Fixit. This was a bit of a legacy episode. This is something I made up before and I wanted to share as a solution, but also to show that an old solution from a previous situation, you give it a new context and it becomes a new solution. I think that's a really great thing to take away. There's something can be repurposed. Go ahead and repurpose it. Give it a fresh coat of paint, give it some new lacquer, whatever you need to do. Try to reuse what you have, but if you don't have a use for it, it's got to go. It's got to go. So that worked out okay. On to the next project.
Done, on to the next one, done, and I'm on to the next one, done, and I'm on to the next one, done, and I'm on to